He also said, my Father and I are one. He also said, whatsoever you do to the least of these, and I'm going to insert, including the little children who are the greatest in the kingdom of heaven, you have done it unto me. Not a fraction of me, not a part of me. He says, you have done it unto me. He accepts the soul that solely is the sole thing that is. And he knows himself to be that. And he tries to tell us, but Satan still doesn't want us to know. He will get so close and take it away from you. He wants to hide the truth. What are you hiding from, Eve? Are you covering up the truth? The will of God is not ill with an I-L-L. It is W-H-E-E-L, like a heel. And with that heel, we will crush the serpent's head. You do not turn a wheel up like this. Now, that is a wheel, like a wagon wheel. Not all wheels. In the East, they call the wheel the Dharma. The Dharma is the work that is the one soul that all things are doing. The eternal God. The Dharma wheel, we always turn it. We're not trying to be the not turn instead, the eternal. That's already the one God, the Father. We turn. That's our immortal life, immortality. You take the mortality out of immortality at any time, now you have lost immortal life. Because the word immortal entails that you continue to include mortality in it. But you know that you will be born again. You always know you will be born again. And that is the eternal will. So, he says to Eve, you have turned this into a tire. Why don't you put some on? You look like you're naked. Why don't you take some fig leaves? Leave the garden, go figure it out. Look what you ate. And speaking of the 8, tell me what the Star of Melchizedek is. The Star of Melchizedek is an 8-pointed star. And every David beloved knows that. It is the Star of Melchizedek. It is also like the atom. Atoms are the particles. It is the 8-pointed star, the 8-pointed atom that is oxygen. We are not blue bloods, Jeremy. When our blood is blue, blue is spiritual color. But Adam, they say, his name means red man. So did Jacob. Jacob, that was called Israel, was a red man. They said he had red in his name. He tried to give his brother something red too, Esau. But he's associated with red. Also David is. He was called ruddy, which means red. Ready. But anyhow, we are not blue bloods. We take a breath. Now, you know, the book of Abraham, they talk about it. They say, was it really translated? And I'm not going to get into the whole conspiracy thing. I don't care. I want you just to look at the doctrine and stop debating whether it was really translated or not. Look at what it says. They say it was also with the book of the breathings. The breathings? The Egyptian used to put the book of the breathings by their dead. We take a breath, Jeremy. That is called the breath of life, and we are born again. And so, we are not blue bloods like on Harry Potter, trying to form an aristocracy and make everyone feel lower. You know, it's ironic. You see the symbols even in the Harry Potter stories because I loved it. I'm going to digress for a minute. The Weasleys are all red-headed, yet they're blue bloods. And they're the lower caste. Look what we always do to the red. But when you take a breath of air, which is oxygen, which is like the Star of Melchizedek, your blue blood turns red. And in the middle of it is where your lungs are, and that's your heart. And between the blue and the red is the purple, which is the royal color even of David in the robe, the kingdom. And the purple is what you get when you're a Saturday's warrior, because we all get purple hearts at the end. So anyways, I'm going to continue. You see, I'm going to read now. You see, believe it or not, I'm a Saturday's warrior. I stand for the one Son, the Son in Sunday, which is the millennium where all of this will be known, and all in all will know the truth, that the one soul, S-O-L, which means the Son, is their own self. There is one self. Do you see the L in self? We are not like the Elohim that are fallen. Some call them the elementals, the nature spirits. We are not elves. We are not an elf. We are an El. We are not like the fallen jinn of the Quran, who are like Iblis and Satan who fell. Many cultures, they talk about this. We are not elves. We're not the fallen jinn. We are the Elohim. Once they were in the stories. Okay, this is the lore that we tell. But anyways, the one soul that is the one self. Remember, from now on, you're not going to call someone a son anymore. That word just gets me irked because it takes away the fact that it hides the fact. Son, take off the S and say one. But one has a 0 or an O? No, it's a line. It's divine. One vine, one line. One L, one line. You understand that? So, we're the one soul. S-O-L. Okay? I do not stand on the side of the 1/3 who seeks to be exalted above others as gods here on earth. I don't stand for it in the world of money here, which is a type and sign of what they're trying to do there, or in heaven. That is Satan's plan. Read the beginning of the Gospel of John. The word Jesus Christ is a God and is God. And I want you to read the Gospel of John, for even they call John a beloved. I'm not going to go into it too much, but the word David means beloved. Now you're going to say soul instead. You're not going to say sun, because sun is like the glory of the celestial sun. But what is a solar eclipse? Soul. S-O-U-L? The soul thing that is. S-O-L-E. The kingdom of the S-O-L, the sun. This, he said, the Father said to him, this is my beloved soul, in whom I am well pleased. And he said that to the soul of David, the son of David. David means beloved. This is my David son, my David soul, in whom I'm well pleased. And David in turn said, Jesus in turn said, before David, I am. Well, of course. Even the Father said, this is my David's soul. And he was pointing to Jesus. This is my soul. Do you know what that means? You don't believe in reincarnation, do you? Although you say you were born into a second estate with heavenly parents, and now born in earthly state here with parents, you still don't get it, Jeremy. Who is the soul of David? The king, the lion. The lion is a symbol of Judah and David. The Mormon church believes in David, but they put him down so much. They say he will never be a god. Jesus never said that. And Jesus never, ever criticized someone for calling him son of David. The Jews didn't like it because when they were saying son of David, what they translated it as is calling Jesus soul of David. Oh, so you're the soul of David. You must be the king of the Jews you are. That kind of stuff the Pharisees would say. Yeah. So, the Mormons also love David because their temples and their whole entire church structure is built around what we call stakes. Stake centers. All the wards are stakes. There is only stakes of Zion. There is only one temple that was built with stakes, and it was not the Temple of Solomon. David's temple, that was a tent. And I want to ask the Mormons, what is your intent about David? They have made it quite clear in their doctrine that David will never be a god. Yet they call upon the soul of David, the son of David, and say, save us, and through his blood we are saved. They call him the lion. The lion is the king of Judah. And he's supposed to lie down with the lamb. But you still say that an unworthy soul like David, who can never be a god? O soul of David, please save us, you say. Here's another sign. Jesus was not born in Jerusalem. He had to be born in the birthplace of the city